In the last several days, we have a number of people jumping out and saying that they own Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac shares, and very important people, not people like retailers like me, like common guys. No, it is like high-profile people. So we have MJ Burry that he announced that he owns, and he holds a substantial amount of the shares. There's also a couple of other people I saw on a Twitter that like 3 or 4 cases that they said that they do own Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It look, by my opinion, that that a lot of people load and now they, post during this dip that we had, and now post that they're in a position of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We know, of course, Bill Ackman is also the owner. Also, what is important, institutionalize ownership of the stock is increased. You can go at is it CNBC? They have the in the shares they it shows who has the owners. So if you look at the just look at the institutional ownership of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and you will see, and if you track that, you will see that number of institutions and funds are actually adding to the position compared to the before. And what is also interesting that almost none, it's like, for example, are decreasing the position. They're decreasing out for 0.01%, what I see here, or something like that. Very, very low numbers. Like last month, like 2 months ago, when there was that when the price of the stock was 16 for Fannie Mae and it fell down. Why it did fell down, and because some of the big institutional ownerships have been decreased the amount of the share. But why that happened? That happened because Pulte announced that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are pulling them out of the GSE, what was EGS, that environmental stuff for the company. And because some of the funds require that all their investments are in the position of they must satisfy that environmental standards and diversity and equality. So they had to pull out and sell the funds or to transfer to the other, and that caused a lot of sale at those days, and then we had the dip from the $16 to go down. So if you wonder why that happened and why we did have decline, it was actually because those big institutional owners, few of them who had that environmental requirements, have stepped out. But but overall, if you look at the picture, global picture for that, for those owners, institutional ownership, it is increasing month after month. So if the big guys are stepping in, is it good for me as a small investor to be in the stock? Unquestionably, yes. Also, why the increase of the ownership will be even bigger in the future is because right now the institutional ownership is very small, maybe like less than 1%, because the stock is over the counter. But when we are uplisted and go toward IPO, they will be able to own it more. And with a small float like we have, but a real small float, that will increase substantially. Also have in mind that the funds and the ETF will start to buy Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, because eventually we'll enter into S&P 500. And listing in S&P 500 will be pretty soon, because we fulfill all the requirements that it needs for S&P 500. Do you think that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will, when they're uplisted, when they're publicly traded in New York Stock Exchange, how fast they will be listed in S&P 500. I think hyper fast. And they have like almost zero institutional ownership. But when they're listed, the ETF will have to buy it. Just look what happened with, for example, with Robinhood. When they enter into S&P 500, I think the stock like double or triple. Let's say in a couple of months, when from the moment they know that they will be listed, up to when it was listed. I was looking like it was it went up, but have in mind that at the point zero, when you look the graph, number of institutions already hold Robinhood. And when it was listed in S&P 500, it went substantially up. For Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, I need to raise more. The institutional ownership is even smaller. So the uphill for uplisting for including in S&P 500 will be even more substantial. So have that in mind when you calculate and evaluate where to go with your money. And I said, like, we know that we know it's on all other everywhere it says that we are going to IPO and uplisting, and the future is good for the company. So this is like maybe one of the very few opportunities that regular investors like me, like Jack, Mike, and people who are like regular guys have to invest, that even if they're not accredited investors. So even if you have $50, you can invest in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Some of the stock market don't allow some of the brokers don't allow that, but number of them does. For example, like Fidelity, you can buy and commission is zero. Chase, you can buy. I'm not sure before I could buy, like a couple of years ago I could buy. I didn't buy on that account almost at all. I bought then and I never sold. I saw that you can sell, but I didn't even try to buy on that account. I was purchasing on another. On TD Ameritrade also you can buy and sell, and for a while they did have the commission, and now they don't. Oh, now it's Schwab. So for TD Ameritrade for a while it didn't have the commission, then it started to have the commission, and then now I think that Schwab don't have the commission, so you can buy it and invest like accredited investors and big guys does. And this is opportunity for a small guy, whatever you put now, it will I believe in. That's why I'm in the stock, because I believe it will go 10x. And like I think that it is happening for sure, because it's 12 to go 10x. First 10x we did have last year. In last year we stock went 10x, 10 times more. Why? And we just anticipated that IPO will happen. How much and what will happen when IPO happens? Actually happens, and when we listed in S&P 500. I think it will be good. That's why I invested. Right?